So this is June 2018, variant 3.2, paper 3. Obviously, we are not doing the web authoring part. We are doing task 3 spreadsheet. Let me zoom in more so that's more clear. I'm going to prepare a spreadsheet model to calculate the higher rental cost for a log cabin. All currency values are in dollars to 2 decimal places. Cabins can be hired by the day. Can hire by the day or the week. It's very important that we try to understand the scenario. Open the files, the booking and cost in the spreadsheet package, and examine the content. So over here we need to is 32. So here we go. We have 32 file. So we have to open up booking and cost. So no, this is not a file. Oh, can I open paper? So booking has to be opened up. I'll options. Okay. I'll everything by clicking between the columns, and then I will open up the cost as well. So I'll click here and I will right. So what we have here, we have some code. It's always advisable that you try to go through the spreadsheet and try to learn it. I'll learn to understand it. I have the codes, then I have names. I have some sleeps like two sleeps. 4 sleeps. We have the cabin type, per day and cost per week. Pretty fine. So can I? And the other sheet that I have has higher day or week. The cabin code is fine, and nothing something. So let's go ahead. Insert 3 new rows at the top of the file. So in the booking, I need to insert 3 new rows. One. And never try to go really fast because you might mess up with it. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. Add text and formatting so that the spreadsheet looks like this. It's a very typical thing that's even coming these days. Obviously, you can't copy. You have to type it in because you don't get a soft copy. You can see over here is that this is coming actually in this cell. So it's A1 to F has been merged. So A1 to F1 has been merged. And over here we have this text, right? And somehow you can also see is A1 to F1, sorry, B A2 to F2 has been merged, and following text is appearing. So I'm going to merge this one as well, and I'm going to place the following text here. Oops, sorry. Oh, it wasn't this one. It was this one. Later on, what we have to do is they haven't mentioned the font, something, so we'll choose our one. So you can see this sort of like a word now, okay? So actually select both of these. I'm going to make the back black. I'm going to make the font white. And I can simply increase the size of this. Meanwhile, I can bold it. It's something like this, what we have, right? And okay, here we go. Has to be extended a bit. So something like this, right? Right. Okay. Here we go. They've just zoomed in a bit. I have not zoomed in. So what else do we have? We have hard day, fine, rest seems to be okay. So we've done this part, right? You can see. Is that fine? 11 marks, a lot of marks, I would say. Save the file as a spreadsheet with the file name this. So obviously what they're trying to say is that you have to make sure you always save the spreadsheet as you have to save it in your, as per your name. Okay. So you can type over here is your name with the file name this followed by your center number and candidate number. So here we go. We can put underscore and you can type your name and your center number and save it as an Excel workbook. The most important thing, save it as an Excel workbook so that your formulas don't disappear. You're with me, Nimra Beta?
Yes.
Take a screenshot showing cells A1 to F11 of spreadsheet, including the rows and column headings placed in evidence document. Place your name, and number in the right in the header. Place your automatic. So I will obviously not ignore any point. So what we have to do here is we simply have to go to print. That's the way I always prefer. Okay, go to page setup. We need to print this in the header. So in the custom header, I'm supposed to have what? Place your name, sending header in on the right in the header. So in the right in the header, I'm going to have following. Okay. So place an automated field to display today's date in the left in the header. So we have today's date, right? Place an automated file name which includes the file path on the right in the footer. So file path has to be where? In the right in the footer. So in the right in the footer, I'm going to have this, which is the file path, right? So I have the following details. Anything else? Take a screenshot. So evidence for will take a screenshot showing A1 to F11 of your spreadsheet. Okay, done. So obviously all we have to do is now, okay. So we'll just make sure is A1 to F11. We can simply do is going to print. We can say is print selection and we can print, right? Okay, once done with this, let's come to point number 16 if you're with me. Till now, no issue. For steps 16 to 20, you may enter test data to help you create your model. So we don't have any data, so we can enter any test data of our choice. Restrict the data entries. For last time we did validation rules. So restrict data entry in cell B4 to D or W. Take a screenshot of your method restricted. So in cell B4, I will obviously go into data and I'll come over here. I hope I'm not going fast because I'm recording this as well. Is this fine?
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, good. Yeah, stop me if you think at times if I'm fast, okay? Okay, I'll click here, I'll come to data validation. I will select from here is a list and we'll type over here is D, comma, W because I want from here either D to be selected or W to be selected. Okay, as per the question, which was point number 16, yes or no? So
Yes.
I would have taken a screenshot. I would have taken a screenshot of the method, which was this, and placed this in my evidence document. Yes or no, right?
Yeah. So I had a question.
Sorry, beta?
I had a question. You know, when you open
Yeah,
the
sure.
validation form and there's the option for a custom.
Sorry. What are you saying about the validation you talked about? Yeah, so I came into data validation.
Yeah, there's an option for
Okay, there's an option over here. You're referring the custom. Yeah, leave it. It's not in our syllabus. It's in okay. So you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe at the end, when I'm revising with you before the exams, I will somehow touch it as well. I'll discuss it a bit. Okay. But not right now. No, not necessarily important. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So done with it. Point number 17. Enter formula in cell D. Okay, this is actually before. Enter formula in cell D9 to display daily if cell B4 is D, weekly if the B4 contains W. So in cell D9, okay, we'll use is equals to if this is equals to, let's read the question again. Can you read the question? 17. Is it clear? Once clear, I can continue. It has to display daily if
Yes.
if B4 contains D, weakly if B4 contains W. So if B4 is equals to D, small d, then obviously we want daily to appear. Otherwise, I would say if B4 is equals to W, I would want weekly to appear. Otherwise, obviously, we can just have nothing and just press enter. So we get this. So obviously, if I select from here is D, I get daily. If I select W, I get weekly. Right? Point number 17, I believe. Take a screenshot of your formula placed in your evidence document. So obviously, again, we'll take a screenshot of the formula which was applied over here, and we'll place it in the evidence document. Yes or no, right? Okay. Now, point number 18. Evaluate in your own words the restrictions you placed in cell B4. Suggest how this restriction could be improved. Improve these restrictions in your spreadsheet based upon the evaluation and your suggestion. Okay. In cell B4, we actually have applied the following restrictions. So, first of all, I have only entered over here is small w and small d. I should have the option of capital W and capital D. You get my point? Because obviously, a person might be entering anything. Okay. What else can we do? Evaluate in your own words the restrictions you placed in cell. Actually, evaluation means that you have talked about good points. So first, obviously, the good thing is that we have used a drop-down list to validate two values, D or W, D for daily, W for weekly, which is very effectively. Okay, sorry, there was some because probably of rainfall, some disconnection. So you got the evaluation part or not? Did you get this part? Point number 18?
Yes, I got that.
So you know what evaluation? Evaluation means that you have to evaluate. You have to talk about what's good and what's bad. Okay, and okay, right. So, so done. Point number 19. Enter function in cell B9. Okay, so let me just show you. So in B9 over here, we have to enter a function to look up the name of the cabin using the file cost. Okay, the name of the cabin. So we want is you're looking for the name of the cabin. Right. So please read and help me out. How will we do point number 19? To look up the name of the cabin using the file this. So the file that we have is this. And we have some codes over here and we have some names over here. Okay. And we have the cabin type. So, but the name of the cabin is this and the code is this. And what do we have here? So over here, you have a number of days, you're hiring this, right? The cabin code is, okay, so we probably in the future enter some cabin code over here, and you're hiring what sort of cabin? So are you with me? This means how can we use VLOOKUP? We'll say is equal. Did you get the question or do you want to read the question again?
And could we redo this?
Yeah, read the question again. Lookup function to look up the name of the cabin using the file this. Okay, and if you look at this file has some codes because this file is for the cabins. These are the codes of the cabins and these are the name of the cabins. Yes or no? So this means what I need to do over here is I can use is equals to VLOOKUP. I want to look up for this cell. Yes, I can apply formula in empty cells, no worry, comma, and I would look up from here, and I want the data from the second column, which is the name. And obviously I want is an exact match, right? So this means if I enter over here in the future, the cabin code, let's say if I enter A, I will get cabin name. If I enter C, if there is a cabin C, I get that as well. You get my point. And this is where the examiner said in the beginning was, if you remember, which followed by this text cabins at this somewhere they mention it over here. Okay, press spreadsheet, add text, save this, take screenshot. I was reading it out. Don't you remember? Going to remember cost, all cabin all value, cabin open the spreadsheet of this, insert all spreadsheet, fine, save. Didn't they say that you can enter your data? I hope I read it somewhere. Place your name. Yes, remember? For step 16 and 2, you may enter test data to help you to create your model. Yes or no? So am I not entering my own data just to see it's working or not? Yes or no? So this means even if this point is not mentioned, nothing to be confused about, you can enter your own data. So is point 19 clear or not? Point 19, and this was how to do it. Yes or no? We look up.
Yes.
Good. Should I continue?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Point number 20. 8 marks. Okay, maybe requires more effort. Okay, let's see what it is. Enter function in cell F9. So that's my F9. Here we go. Over here, weekly rate of. Right, so we want the weekly rate of. Okay, what does the question say? Enter function cell F9 to display the appropriate cost per day or per week of this cabin. Okay, now I get it. So what they're saying is, I want to know the rate of this cabin. So if you look at this sheet, I have over here the code. So if I enter the code, I get the cost per day, and I get the cost per week. But we need to look at something. If I select from here is D, daily, obviously the rate would change. If it's D, it would be different. So cost per day and cost per week. Can you read the question again so that I can start doing with you? Think over it, how to do it. I want your involvement. The appropriate cost per day or per week for this cabin. And here is our file. And here is this one. So how do you think? So what will we use? You can take your time.
I didn't really get that.
Okay. Fine. Did you somehow okay. You understood the question number 20 or not?
Yeah, I didn't understand the question.
Okay. So what they're saying is actually if I select over here is D, I want the rate of that. And you can see over his that if even if I select over here is let's say if I select from here is W and I enter over here is A, right? But I want the rate of it, which means if you look over here is I have the code, I get the name, but cost per day is different, cost per week is different. So if one selects from there is D, I should get the following column data. If I select from there is W, I should get the data from this column. Yes or no? You get my point? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously VLOOKUP will be used over here. Again, I repeat, if I select D, then it should select the data from here. Otherwise, it should select the data from here. Okay, that's the way it should work. Right? Okay, so what we need to do over here is we will obviously use over here is equals to if, and we can say is that this is equals to D, comma, right? We would do is we would VLOOKUP, right? And we will VLOOKUP, our VLOOKUP value will be this, comma, and I will select from here. Now, since it's, I want the data from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cost per day is in the fifth column, comma, 0. I'll close the bracket. Okay, right? Otherwise, obviously, I can use another if, but I can even put the false. It's fine. If, don't worry, get it. I'll explain it again. If this is equals to W, then we look up for this value, comma, select from here, and comma, get the data from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the sixth column, and we want is the exact match. And you click here and you say yes. So I get the cost. This means if I select from here is D, my cost is different. If I select from here is W, my cost is different. And let's check. See, in case of W, my cost is, let me zoom in to show you. My cost is 352. So in case of A, my cost is 352. If I select from here is D, my cost is 64. And you can see is my cost 64. Let's try for B. Okay, if I change this to B, my cost for B and daily, for daily and B is 75. So that's B. It's 75 for daily. Okay. And if I change this to weekly, the weekly cost goes to 412. Is it right? Yes, it's right. You get my point or not? It's working or not? Obviously, when you'll try this yourself, you'll get more ideas. So if it's D, then we look up from the fifth column. Otherwise, if it's W, you look up from the sixth column. It was a bit technical, but yeah, that's why I want. Is it clear, beta? I'll share the video with you as well, okay? You'll try it yourself as well. Are you with me, Nimra?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 21, enter the formula in cell B11 to calculate total cost of cabin. So B11, we need the total, where's B11? B11, the total cost. So the total cost will be, what will be the total cost? Yes. Number of days. Okay. Obviously, you see we have number of days. It would be, oh, not here. It would obviously be is equals to whatever number of days I enter here multiplied by the cost. Right now, I don't enter anything. Right. And I think so we are done. So actually we have to do is, you know how to print the formulas and all that, right? Am I right? Enter G for 2 weeks. So what they're saying is you have to enter G here. Okay. Right. For 2 weeks. Okay. We get the following output. Right. And print out this. So this was the paper. Okay. And you had to now, and one printout was that change it to B for 3 days. So change it to B and make it 3 days. And then take a printout. Right? So you know how to take the printout, control tilde. Click here, double click between the columns, take a printout of the formulas, and control tilde. Click here, double click between the columns, and take a printout of the values. So take a print of values and take a printout of the formulas. Right, this is how you, let me just stop the recording.